moving into the 21st century, how will producers attract new audiences? We're going to discuss that with our guests. Mark Russell, who is the producer and curator of the Under the Radar Festival at the Public Theater, exactly. And Aaron Riccio, drama critic, who is now the coordinator and chief editor of Theater Talk's new Theater Core blog, which is a group of a number of young drama critics writing about theater in the 21st century. Mark, what is cutting edge today in the theater, and how are you going to get people to come to it?
Oh my God.
Yes, Mark, give us your
just a short
definition
How
of
much time do you have? The way we're approaching it is we're doing a festival.
Yeah,
we're doing the Under the Radar Festival, which is trying to take a scope of all the things going on around the world, not just New York City, in that is sort of emerging artists, a small-scale work. I think theater is going back to its basics, which is actually more in smaller rooms, where you can really hear, you don't have to be mic'd, that kind of thing. And people are going right back to the essence of the theatrical moment.
Right.
And so we've put together a bunch of folks that, like almost 15 shows. It'll happen over 2 weeks from the 17th of January through the 28th. And most of them will be centered at the Public Theater. And they're only $15 a show. So it's something that, it's using the film festival method of creating something around the theater and trying to open up and introduce people to the theater in that way.
Mm-hmm. Now, Aaron, is that something that you, as a young person, would go to? Or let me ask you this differently. Why would you, as a technologically savvy blogger, decide to go out and go schlepping over to the Public Theater to see some theater?
I mean, for me, what gets me out to the theater is just, seeing that there's new innovative stuff going on. For me, that's always the appeal, is seeing something new, the chance to see something when it first breaks. It's not enough to just go see something that, has opened to critical acclaim or that everyone's talking about. It's seeing that thing when it first happens that really draws me into the theater. And I think a lot of people who are on the web and using a lot of the internet stuff get drawn in by that new big thing, the viral videos or all that stuff. They want to be there when it breaks. They want to be there and they want to tell everybody about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's New York. The New Yorkers want to be there first,
Exactly.
And
we are there first.
So how are you finding the things for your festival?
Well, I go out all the time. I'm looking all the time. I get hundreds of DVDs and videotapes, and I travel and go to festivals and that kind of thing around.
What a job.
It's a job.
This is great. You're all over the place.
I should say Mark was at PS 122
for about 21 years.
For 21 years, and you really had, established the standard of the discoverer of great new talent. So it's no surprise they have you doing that. Do you travel around the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give us a sense of the festival that you have about to happen now at the Public Theater. 2 or 3 things that you really think the town's going to respond to, stuff that you're excited about to have here.
There's so much, and they're all my children, so I hate to pick them out. But
we're going to ask you to pick out a couple of them.
I think you should see A Beautiful View by Daniel McIver. Now, he's had some success in the city already, but this is a beautiful piece about 2 women and their relationship over 30 years. And that's about all I can tell you about.
Is it now we're talking about
just a two-hander.
And we're talking about cutting edge, but is it a kind of old-fashioned two-hander? Is it an old two-hander structure play?
In the structure of it, he has different ways of tweaking the structure. Daniel McIver plays our Dada Camera play, his production company, usually has a minimum set, done with a lot of sound design and lights, and maybe there's a pup tent and 2 actors. Right. And so he uses the stage space to make the imagination go those other places that a lot of plays don't let you do.
And something else?
Yes, you should see Mike Daisy. Do you know about Mike Daisy?
No.
Mike Daisy is an amazing individual. He's a storyteller, a raconteur. He's does these things, and this one's called Invincible Summer. And he basically sits at a table with a glass of water and tells stories, but a really great interwoven story. And he has, however, it's not written down. It's all kind of extemporaneous.
Really? He hasn't worked it out and memorized it?
It's not memorized. Not memorized. He just goes off a very detailed sort of outline.
You think this is a Spalding Gray type?
Yeah, I mean, he owes a lot to Spalding
That was
Gray,
a
but
huge,
there's
yeah.
certainly room. I miss Spalding Gray so much.
Yeah.
And My Daisy comes as close as you can. It's a great thing. And this is about a very intense summer for him, and it's also worked into the history of the subway system and democracy and a lot of other things.